Hello students, welcome back to our Science and Technology digital class. Students, we have already started with lesson number 3, Life Processes in Living Organisms part 2. Let's begin with further part of our lesson. Just have a quick recap what we have learned. We have learnt about reproduction and its types in first two videos, then asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms, asexual reproduction in multicellular organisms, and sexual reproduction in plants. I hope you all must have watched earlier two videos and must have written all the important points from the textbook and from the video in your notebook. Let's begin with next part of the lesson. Can you recall which different hormones control the function of human reproductive system through chemical coordination? Students, you have already learnt endocrine system in previous year. Just observe here the table. So, here various endocrine glands. What is meant by endocrine glands? Yes, the glands which directly release their chemicals into the blood are known as endocrine glands. And these glands, they give out the chemicals which are known as hormones. So, which reproductive hormones are here? In males, from the testes, testosterone, and in the ovaries, estrogen and progesterone are the hormones which are necessary for the human reproductive system. So, these hormones are responsible for changes in human body occurring during onset of sexual maturity. Now, the reproductive system with specific organs develop in the body of men and women due to these sex chromosomes only. Now, just see over here, all human cells contain 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes. The first 44 chromosomes or 22 pairs are called as autosomes. The 23rd pair of chromosomes are the sex chromosomes. In female, the sex chromosomes are XX, and in males, the sex chromosomes are XY. So, this sex chromosomes only determines the sex of the organism, and so they play very important role. Now, we will study the structure and functions of human reproductive system in detail. Now just observe here the diagram which is also given on page number 28, figure 3.16. Male reproductive system of humans consists of testes, various ducts and glands. Testes are present in the scrotum outside the abdominal cavity. Testes contain numerous seminiferous tubules. Germinal epithelium present in the tubules divide by meiosis to produce sperms. Those sperms are sent forward through various tubules. Sequence of those tubules is azerate testes, vas efferens, epididymis, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, and urinogenital duct. As the sperms are pushed forward from one duct to next, they become mature and able to fertilize the ovum. Seminal vesicles secrete their secretion in ejaculatory ducts, whereas prostrate glands and Cowper's glands secrete their secretions in urinogenital duct. Semen is formed of sperms and secretions of all these glands. Semen is ejaculated out through penis. All the organs of male reproductive system are paired except urinogenital duct, penis and scrotum. Just observe here the diagram. and draw this diagram in your notebook also. Now, what are the main parts of human male reproductive system and what are their functions? Just write down this chart in your notebook also. First one is testes, production of sperms and male hormone testosterone. Scrotum, protection and temperature control of testes. Penis, transferring sperms to vagina. Seminal vesicle secretes the fluid for nourishment of sperms. So, write down this chart. It is very important for the practical exam also. Now, next we are going to see about human female reproductive system. Just refer on textbook page number 29, figure 3.17. All organs of female reproductive system are in abdominal cavity. It includes a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts, single uterus and a vagina. Besides, a pair of bulbourethral gland is also present. Generally, every month an ovum is released in abdominal cavity alternately from each ovary. Free end of oviduct is funnel-like. An opening is present at the center of it. Oocyte enters the oviduct through that opening. Cilia are present on inner surface of oviduct. These cilia push the oocyte towards uterus. Now we will see main parts of human female reproductive system and their functions. Just see over here, main parts are ovary, uterus, vagina and oviduct. What is the function of ovary? Production of oocytes or egg and female hormones estrogen and progesterone. Then uterus, growth and development of fetus during pregnancy. Vagina is the passage for menstrual flow and birth canal. Oviduct is for transporting the released oocytes after ovulation. Now next we are going to see what is meant by gamete formation. Both gametes, that is sperm and ovum, are formed by meiosis. Sperms are produced in testes of men from beginning of maturation till death. However, in case of women, at the time of birth, there are 2 to 4 million immature oocytes in the ovary of female fetus. An oocyte matures and is released from ovary every month from the beginning of maturity up to the age of menopause, approximately 45 years of age. Menopause is the stoppage of functioning of female reproductive system. At the age of about 45 to 50 years, secretion of hormones controlling the function of female reproductive system either stops or becomes irregular. This causes the menopause. Now next we are going to see fertilization. Just refer the textbook page number 30 for the diagram. Formation of zygote by union of sperm and ovum is called as fertilization. Fertilization is internal in humans. Semen is ejaculated in vagina during copulation. Sperms in the numbers of few millions starts their journey by the route of vagina, uterus and oviduct. One of those few million sperms fertilize the only ovum present in the oviduct. From the age of puberty up to menopause, that is from 10 to 17 years of age up to 45 to 50 years, an ovum is released every month from the ovary. That is, out of 2 to 4 million ova, approximately only 400 oocytes are released up to the age of menopause. Remaining oocytes undergo degeneration. So just observe here the diagram. Now next we are going to see, do you know? Now just see over here, sex determination in human beings. Now students, we have already seen that in humans there are total 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs, out of which 22 pairs are autosomes and one pair is sex chromosome. In human males, two dissimilar chromosomes are present. One is X and other is Y. In human females, there are two similar longer X chromosomes. All children inherit X chromosomes from their mother. Thus, the sex of the offspring is determined by the chromosome that they inherit from their father. If it is X, then the offspring will be a daughter, and if it is Y, then it will be a son. So, in human beings, the sex is determined by the father or by the males, not by the woman. So just mark all these things, mark the diagram also. Now next we are going to see development and birth. The zygote formed after fertilization in the oviduct undergoes repeated mitotic divisions and embryo is formed. Meanwhile, it is pushed towards the uterus. Once it reaches the uterus, it is implanted and further development occurs after implantation. An organ called as placenta is formed for supply of food material during the growth in uterus. Embryonic development is completed approximately within 9 months or 36 weeks after the fertilization. Always remember, as we have seen earlier, that in human beings the sex is determined by the man or by the father, not by the mother. So man is totally responsible whether the couple will have a boy or a girl child. So just think of it, that is it right to consider the mother responsible for a girl child? No. So we all must have to take efforts to stop female feticide. Now next we are going to see about menstrual cycle. Now what is meant by that? Just refer the diagram which is given on page number 31, figure 3.21. Female reproductive system undergoes some changes at puberty, and those changes repeat at the interval of every 28 to 30 days. These repetitive changes are called as menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle is a natural process controlled by 4 hormones. Just mark all these things in your textbook. Those 4 hormones are follicle stimulating hormone FSH, luteinizing hormone LH, estrogen and progesterone. One of the several follicles in the ovary starts to develop along with the oocyte present in it under the effect of follicle stimulating hormone. This developing follicle secretes estrogen. Endometrium of the uterus starts to develop during the first cycle or regenerate during subsequent cycles under the effect of estrogen. Meanwhile, developing follicle completes its development. It bursts under the effect of luteinizing hormone and oocyte is released. This is called as ovulation. Remaining tissue of the burst follicle forms the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum starts to secrete progesterone. Endometrial glands secrete their secretion under the effect of progesterone. Such endometrium is ready for the implantation of embryo. Now students, here endometrium means inner lining of the uterus. oocyte is not fertilized within 24 hours, corpus luteum becomes inactive and transforms into corpus albicans. Due to this, secretion of estrogen and progesterone stops completely. Endometrium starts to degenerate in absence of these two hormones. Tissues of degenerating endometrium and unfertilized ovum are discarded out through vagina. This is accompanied with continuous bleeding. Bleeding continues approximately for 4 to 5 days. This is called as menstruation. And as this cycle repeats every month, it is known as menstruation cycle. Students, just mark all these things from page number 31 and 32, paragraph number 1. This may come as a short note for the exam. Now next we are going to see about reproduction and modern technology. Many couples cannot have children due to various reasons. In case of women, irregularity in menstrual cycle, difficulties in oocyte production, obstacles in the oviduct, difficulties in implantation in uterus, and many other reasons are responsible for this. Absence of sperms in the semen, slow movement of sperms, anomalies in the sperms are the reasons in case of males. But now, with the help of advanced medical techniques like IVF, surrogacy, sperm bank, the childless couples can have a child. So, we will see all these modern technologies. Now, first modern technology is known as in vitro fertilization, or it is also known as IVF. In this technique, fertilization is brought about in the test tube and the embryo formed is implanted in the uterus of woman at appropriate time. IVF technique is used for having the child in case of those couples who have problems like less sperm count, obstacles in oviduct, etc. Now next technique is known as surrogacy. Some women have problem in implantation of embryo in uterus. Such women can take the help of the modern remedial technique called as surrogacy. In this technique, oocyte is collected from the ovary of the woman having problem in implantation in uterus. That oocyte is fertilized in test tube with the help of sperms collected from her husband. The embryo formed from such fertilization is implanted in the uterus of some other woman having normal uterus. Such a woman in whose uterus the embryo is implanted is called as surrogate mother, and the technique is called as surrogacy. Now next technique is known as sperm banking or semen bank. There are various problems in sperm production in case of many men. So as to have the children in case of such couples, new concept of sperm bank has been introduced. So sperm banking is the name for the collection and storage of semen. Semen is the fluid that contains sperm. Sperm banking is also known as sperm cryopreservative or semen storage. Students, just mark all these things in your textbook because on these short notes may come in the exams. Now next we are going to see about the twins. Now what is meant by twins? Two embryos develop simultaneously in the same uterus and thus two offsprings are delivered simultaneously. Such offsprings are called as twins. Many couples have twins. There are two main types of twins. They are monozygotic and dizygotic twins. Monozygotic twins are formed from single embryo. During early period of embryonic development, cells of that embryo divide into two groups. Those two groups develop as two separate embryos and thus monozygotic twins are formed. Such twins are genetically exactly similar to each other. Due to this, such twins are exactly similar in their appearance and their gender is also same. That is, both will be either boys or girls. Occasionally, two oocytes are released from the ovary of woman and both oocytes are fertilized by two separate sperms and thus two zygotes are formed. Two embryos are formed from those two zygotes and both of those zygotes are separately implanted in the uterus and thus dizygotic twins are delivered after complete development. Such twins are genetically different and may be same of or of different by gender. Either they may be two boys or two girls or one boy and one girl. Just mark all these things from your textbook also. Now next we are going to see reproductive health. Now what is meant by that? Now students, what is meant by health? A person's state of being physical, mental and social strongness is called as health. Now all this part we have already learned in lesson number 9, social health. So reproductive health is relating to the reproductive system and to its functions and processes. And so this reproductive health must be very well of the young generation of the country. Now next we are going to see, do you know, population explosion. This part you may have learned also in geography. Excessive growth of population within short duration is called as population explosion. Okay, now just see here the table and I think you already know that our India is ranking second in the highly populated country. Okay, and so all this is very important because human resource is very important for any country. Okay, as well as their health and all other facilities they should get, and for that we have to see about this population explosion and all. Now again just see here difference between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Now you must have now understood what is meant by asexual reproduction, what is meant by sexual reproduction and what exactly is the difference between these two reproductions. So just write down all these things in your notebook because this lesson is very important for the exam. So just have a quick recap what we have learned. We have learnt about human male reproductive system, human female reproductive system, menstruation cycle, twins and types of twins, then modern technology and reproduction, that various techniques we have learnt, IVF, surrogacy and sperm bank. So read the lesson thoroughly, mark the important points in the textbook, write all the important points from the video. Thank you.